Hey guys, back at it. This is day 149 in my 1 year daily diary challenge. This challenge was prompted out of a 100-day challenge, and that challenge can be found in the first 100 days of my daily diary recordings. So I don't want to take up too much time explaining all of them in each episode or each daily diary. So you can definitely pop back and listen in. But I'm really excited to be here with you guys, sharing my daily diaries, some really fun information, some life events, like all the things that come up. Sometimes they're really short, and to me they're boring, but they might not be boring to you. And sometimes they're really, really long because I get on a little soapbox and I start, talking about one specific topic or multiples, and I just feel led to. So that is the fun of these things, and I am so thankful, as it is the week of Thanksgiving. Always thankful for everybody who's popping in and listening, everybody who is supporting me by doing that, liking, sharing, subscribing, getting notified when I post a new one, which is every day, typically in the evening sometime. And we are about 10 or 11 days off record date. So the date that I record is about, 10 days, 11 days behind when I actually post. But anyway, let's get into it. This is day 149. So yes, we are in the week of Thanksgiving. Today is the last day of school for the kids. Got them up, got them ready to go. We had been packing their suitcases for their trip with their dad. And just this morning, I know that my son was being picked up by his dad. So I made sure that he had everything sorted out before he left. So I got my daughter to school first and let her know kind of the itinerary of the day. Took my son to school, let him know that his dad was picking him up. He was really excited because the last day of school, they were doing some fun gaming things. And he was just excited to participate with his friends and do that. There was also some, just making sure he knew his dad was picking him up and that he wouldn't be coming home, so to make sure he had all his things. And I just got home and did my normal health and wellness routine. I, popped in the sauna, did my vibration therapy, did my grounding mat and my acupressure mat. Although I would really love to get some compression therapy things to do at home. That would be kind of cool. I went to the Restore Hyper Wellness to do my red light and cryo. I literally did not do anything after my shower. I just put on clothes and went. So I was not done up, or, I was definitely no jewelry, no makeup. My hair was still wet kind of thing. I had this once I was leaving there, I had this thing I should go to Target. Because when I took my kids to Target the other night to get my son's shoes, there was this pair of jeans, and they reminded me so much of my teenage years when I would have these big wide leg, high-waisted jeans. And I was like, what would be really fun is to get a pair, but they didn't have any in my size. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And my daughter was looking at a sweater that she was really excited about, but I didn't get it for her in that moment. So I was like, I should just go to Target. And Target was right across the way. So I went and I just did a browse. It was very nice to just wander and look at each piece and see what it made me feel, if anything. So I found the jeans. I found the size that I thought would be perfect. Grabbed that. Found this really, really soft sweater. And I got that for myself. And then I got my daughter a pair of PJ pants she wanted and the sweater that she was eyeing the other day. I also saw this really beautiful boho flowy dress that I have to try on and see how it looks and how I feel about it. Because it looked really pretty on the hanger, but it might not be my vibe once I try it on. So we'll see. And then I got left. So I got everything and I left and I went home and I changed into my new outfit, my new jeans and sweater, and I felt really cool and just like almost cool and reminiscent about the vibe that I was styling. And I hung out at the house, doing different things, making sure everything was ready to go for when my daughter came home. But today I am picking her up from school in the car line because we have to immediately go to a doctor's appointment, just her yearly well check. And it's more important that I get it done now because we will be moving in the summertime. So they said that the physical report that they do will be good for a year. So it'll be good for her entry into school next year, which will be good. So I will have those two done. My son's appointment is in a couple of weeks. And while we're here and we have an established doctor, it'll be easier than when we move and we don't necessarily have one that, we've been established with. So I got into Carline and waited. I got there really early for some reason, earlier than I anticipated. I was the first person in line, the only car for a little while. I was listening to an Eckhart Tolle book, and this is a different book that I had read before, and I'm not remembering the title off the top of my head because sometimes in my digital library, I just start picking books and then I just randomly go through and start listening to them. So I was listening to it, and it's very expansive off of The Power of Now and the other books that he did. So it's more of a deep dive into certain topics. And I did listen to another The Power of Now practice book, and that was more questions and answers. This one is definitely just him talking about different things, and I've really enjoyed listening to it again. It's just bringing up what I already knew from The Power of Now, but then also deep diving into certain topics and issues, relationship issues, talking about the pain body and talking about how to identify it in other people, how to work with it in your children, how to work with it in yourself. And that's a little more in-depth than what The Power of Now had spoke to. So it's been a really good book, but I've been listening to it in the car and in the car line while I was waiting for her for a bit. Then she popped in the car. We got to the doctor's appointment. It's not her favorite to go to doctor's appointments. And we did talk about some things that, I'm just going to keep on my radar. And we went immediately to the chiropractor and got our adjustments done there. And then we went to get boba at a place we haven't been to in a while just because it's not on our route anymore. But it was really good. They do fresh infused tea stuff as well. And they have these really big cream puffs. And they're giant. They're bigger than your hand. And so we got one of those. And then just went home to make sure that she was all packed up and ready to go. I, put my son's stuff in the car, taking his stuff to, the house. And because he couldn't carry a suitcase to school. That would just be silly. I had been for months wanting to watch Dharma and Greg. And I remember being younger and watching it on TV and just being so fascinated by this relationship of the two different, he's a lawyer and came from a very prominent, rich family that was very strict. And she came from this super lax hippie family. The parents weren't even married. Kind of two different, she's always speaking her mind, doing her authentic self 100% of the time. And so for me, revisiting this, because I'm actually in this space, more of Dharma space, it was just kind of cool. And I couldn't find it anywhere to stream. And so I found it on YouTube, and somebody had posted all of the episodes. And so I was really, really excited. And while my daughter was finishing herself, getting packed and ready, I just started watching them. And I was like, this show was so on point that it would be so cool for like them to just put it out again. It is really relevant, and I'm just really enjoying each episode and kind of looking at it through a different lens. Not as just entertainment, but also because a lot of the things that they talk about and they go through are relevant now. And some of the things, like, oh gosh, they were, how they met one day. They had this like crazy date situation, and then they got married, and they didn't really even know each other. But Dharma was like, we're destined to be together. We're together in every different lifetime. She was, she was just like, she spiritually knew that they were supposed to be together. And that Greg was just like all on it. Like, he was so head over heels in love and willing to just go with the flow with her. So that's been really cool to see. But then also all of the things that she's really into, like she's a yoga teacher and she's very open about her feelings and being authentic. And like, I think one of the earlier episodes was about, him wanting to become like a senator, and that he's always dreamed about doing it, and that she would have to change. And she's like, why? Why do I have to change? You married me this way. Everybody else should accept me this way. I shouldn't really need to change. And that is like total facts. And so it's just been a really cool thing to revisit. So that's my new thing, watching Dharma and Greg. And so my daughter was done. So we packed up everything in the car and we got to their dad's house. And, she grabbed all her stuff and went inside, and I grabbed my son's stuff and took it to him, gave him big hugs and squeezes before leaving, and just checking in to make sure like the plan of, the travel, and if they had everything they needed, and letting their dad know what I packed for them so that he wouldn't blindly leave without needing anything else. And so yeah, I dropped them off, and then I went back home to continue to watch Dharma and Greg, and I had myself a little girl dinner. Just grabbed some little snack packs that the kids had that they didn't really like, which were like meat and cheese, mostly for my son, and then some chips and salsa, and I was like, this is good. And at a certain point, I just decided to call it a night, because it was, I was getting tired. I said goodnight to the kids. I just wanted to have a full night's sleep because I can, and I don't really need to be out there partying. I don't need to be out there doing anything. Of course, I need to go out and do things and go out and meet people and engage in the world, but it's also good to have that hibernation, inward moments that you can just hang out and just be with yourself, and totally okay with it. I definitely am enjoying some peace and quiet, and also missing the kids at the same time, but I know that it won't be for long, and then they'll be back and we'll be getting into our normal routine, and I'll get all the hugs and kisses from them. So it is going to be an amazing Thanksgiving week and weekend, and I am so excited and thankful that you guys are here supporting me and listening. So please do drop a comment and let me know what you think. Share this with somebody who you might think can find some relevancy in it. Subscribe so you don't miss a day. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have an amazingly fabulous, awesome, thankful day. Peace.